You know, I felt I was destined for this, but for it to actually happen, it still feels surreal. He's the unbeatable freaking Bruce Lee of mixed martial arts, and thank God he gave me the power to do it.
And new UFC middleweight champion of the world, Chris Weidman. Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. We're dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. A lot of technical glitches from Matt and from me. Today we have our buddy Chris Weidman returning. And of course, Matt, you know Chris so well. And John Wood from Syndicate is returning. Oh, there he is.
Bro, your right shoulder looks jacked right now. I don't know if it's the lighting.
Me or Jimmy?
I don't see Jimmy right now.
Oh, okay.
But your right shoulder is massive.
Dude, I'm on vacation. Wow.
Oh, the other one. The other one. Oh, I'm sorry. What's up, Norton? I haven't seen you in forever, man. How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you? Where are you live? Are you still in New York or are you down south
No,
permanently?
I'm in the Carolinas now. I'm right outside of Charlotte, but in South Carolina in a town called Fort Mill.
I was down there. I did gigs down there probably 3 months ago. It's nice. I don't think I could live down there. But I mean, for taxes and stuff, it's probably a much better place than up here.
Well, you're in the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big change from Long Island to here. I love it. It's been awesome.
What was the final decision that made you go, yeah, I'm leaving New York for good?
Well, my parents were talking about leaving because my sister, she married one of the boys' brother, and they started having kids. And so my parents were talking about going down south and being able to spend some time with those grandkids because they were missing so much time, without being with them. And so we're like, all right, every time I left Long Island, I mean, you realize there's other places with similar things and it's just way cheaper and a little bit more chill. So it just happened. It happened fast. Our house, the real estate agent told us that our house was going to take it about a year and a half to sell because I was still, I still was training in New York. I never really even imagined leaving and training somewhere else. I always thought, all right, if we do leave, if this actually happens, I'll just, do my camps out in New York. And then next thing I know, I'm just stuck out there, and it's been good. Our house got sold basically, to make a long story short. We had one open house and immediately that day we got a crazy offer and we just took it. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm moving. This is crazy. I never thought I'd leave Long Island.
Right.
I'm never going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's how
I felt. Well, you got your whole family there. It's what's the point? You're gonna leave and then you're gonna feel awful. You're gonna miss all your family. Like, what's the point?
Jimmy's never leaving his
I like being in the city too much. I like the convenience. I like walking to the club. I like walking to the pharmacy. It's just everything's here. And I would spiral into bad things if I wasn't busy in New York. So I don't trust myself to leave the city. I think I'll spiral.
Yeah, DoorDash is big. You just DoorDash everything here.
Yeah.
You know what I can see me doing is getting one of those what do you call it? The snowbird? What do you call the shit when you have a
snowbird? That's the dream. Yes, that's the dream.
Because man, listen. Walking's not for me. I don't like to walk. My legs are a little fucked up. But I borrowed Uncle Tony's bike when I was in Tarpon Springs. I'm in Florida now, Chris, on vacay. It's like a mile and a half down to a nice beach, man. And I'm on the mountain bike. I'm going through a trail. I'm doing my little post on the beach, like about it's fun. And I ride back. I can see me doing that as an old man.
I think in the best case scenario for me, I would get a place on Long Island for the summers because I think Long Island during the summer is the best place on earth. But now it's kind of I don't know where I'd live on Long Island because Baldwin is where I'd go for the nostalgia of where I grew up. And I love Baldwin, but Baldwin's changed. It's not the tourist attraction. You know, it's like a tough neighborhood at this point.
Yeah.
So, and then what am I going to do? Go to the Hamptons? Then I feel like I'm not really even on Long Island that I know of. So I don't know where I'd go if I get a house on Long Island. Like where do I buy a house? I'd have to talk to Ally Quinta, the best real estate agent in the game.
Yes.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Al's doing great. Now I see Al, like, he's going to like local politicians. He's going to rallies and shit.
That.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
hope
funny.
that blows up for him.
I think it's going to be great. And he's very like level-headed, and he's talking to them. But anytime he gets, and one guy who's a little disrespectful, he's like, "Man, I'll fuck you up." He goes right to raging.
Oh, is that when he was talking? He was doing the man on the street thing.
Yes.
I did see that.
That was my favorite one. Some dude, basically cursed him out, and then he threatened to beat the shit out of all of them. And they were like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Yeah, that raging out. You can't. He can only be contained for so long.
Hey, listen, he's great. He speaks so well. He's articulate.
Yeah.
He looks great in a suit. But there's still a little bit of a psychopath in there. And that's why we love him. And that's why it's fun. But hey, Chris, there's no sign of you stopping. Are you're still fighting? Or you still got the
I don't know what the hell was going
on?
on. So I had the boxing match, and I tore my bicep tendon, which actually I took a lot of. I was trying to push through because Lago was telling me that you tore your bicep, right, like 2 weeks or something before a fight, and then you go out there and submit the guy.
Yeah, but you didn't have that option in a boxing match, Chris. Like
I didn't have that option.
Yeah.
But I still tried. I did like 2.5 weeks of like taking it easy on it. And the doctors are like, there's a chance, like if you think you could push through the pain, you might be able to do it. But the problem was they said I would have been better off if it tore completely. I tore 95% of it. So there was still a portion of the tendon that was there. So like I'd start shadow boxing after taking like 5 days off, not messing with the arm. And I come back, I'm like shadow boxing. I'm like, I think I'm good. And then I go and just do like a place bar. And as soon as I would end up speeding it up, it was like extreme pain. Then I couldn't even cover my head with my arm. It just would die on me. And so I was like, all right, I got the surgery. Because, if you wait too long with that, you can't get the surgery. So I was like, I might as well just get it done. Yeah.
I know. There's nothing there. Dude, come on, man. I would have had 2 of these at 51. Look, dude.
Yeah, it would have been fair for the rest of the world if you had 2 of those. Yeah.
But dude, with one, I had I had the option of just taking him down with a single leg and beat the shit out of him, which I did. But you didn't have, in a boxing match, I wouldn't have done that. You couldn't do that. You can't throw that hand really too much. Like when it's like this.
Yeah.
Well, like that.
It was too much. Yeah, but how many people you knocked out with that right hand?
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, no. It's good. It was good afterwards. I mean, I'm not a bicep guy anyway. I don't do I don't do curls or nothing. I do some push-ups.
Is it that much weaker than the other one?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I always felt the neck fits better there for the fucking choke. Yeah. And I feel that I don't know. I think the doctor told me he was like an old school, like Navy doctor. He was cool. And he's like, look, it's more for cosmetic reasons. And I guess it's true because I do look a little like a freak. But shit, I don't regret it. Yeah, maybe I would regret it if I lost the fight. Then it's be reminded every day I look like a freak and I lost the fight. But
it just didn't work out at all. They said that it only is like 5% of your strength curling is that bicep tendon, which is crazy. I thought it would be like everything. It's a very little bit, but like opening up your hand, it's like 95% strength loss. So I probably feel that the weakness there or not.
Not a problem. But you can do like movie roles in the future. You might want both biceps. You're like you could be in the fucking Avengers or some shit.
You gotta have a good memory to be a star on a movie or something. So I don't know. My memory sucks.
You've done acting before.
A lot of time. I've
done acting before, in that Kevin James show.
Kevin James that put me on there. It was me. Yes, it was all. I had a great time, and not to talk good about myself, which is weird, but I do think I did all right. But it was only because Kevin I was so open and honest how badly I suck and how much help I need, and he was awesome. He knew I wasn't an actor, so the head guy knows I'm not an actor, so I'm not trying to pretend I'm somebody I'm not. And he helped me a lot, like as far as with the lines and studying and all that stuff. And my first time ever acting, I'm standing there with Kevin James and Adam Sandler, And it was nerve-wracking for sure. But what made me the most scared is that Adam Sandler was really nervous because there was a live audience. He had 2,000 people in the live audience. And he was like, man, I haven't done a live audience in 25 years. I'm crapping my pants right now. I'm like, you're crapping your pants? Yeah. Oh, no. I should be really crapping my pants.
Isn't it funny how it all depends on what you're doing? It's nerve-wracking for you. But literally your job is to everyone else on earth. It's the most terrifying thing. Stand up acting. Yeah, there's a fear of embarrassment, but there's no penalty for sucking. If you fuck up at your job, there's a real penalty. And yet you're still nervous doing this. It's kind of funny to see.
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of what you're comfortable with. You could probably do a stand-up gig. You get a little butterflies, but you know how to deal with it. You know how to deal with adversity. When you have no experience doing something, you just think worst case scenarios. And the worst thing that you could think about is completely going blank, just forgetting everything. And you're out there and people looking at you like, oh, he's that guy. He forgot everything. Thank God. But I did use the mindset I go into fights with, just kind of, I gave it all up to God. All right, I'm just giving it up to you. I prepped and I'm going to go out there and just try to have fun. And it did work out.
Hey, and you're going to Vegas for Merab's fight on Saturday. It's crazy. Yes. As a guy, you were champion. You know what it's like. What is the difference in mentality when the target is on your back? And I know you guys trained for everybody, but when you know you're everybody's goal, does it change anything about the mentality going in?
Well, for me, it doesn't seem like it's a thing for Merab, but you become a champion, and then I did have a fast turnaround fight right immediately because we had that rematch with Anderson. But other than that, you also have sponsors. You're flying different places, doing signings. You're making good money outside of the cage, so you just get way more busy. So you might lose some confidence knowing that you're not training like you used to. But that doesn't seem like a problem for Merab.
They said he likes to sometimes do 5 rounds on fight day, which I'm sure drives everybody nuts. But yeah, he's just one of those really, really rare guys. What do you think of this rematch with Yan, who has looked good lately? If I remember Merab's fight, I think Merab won very decisively in that first round, 49-46 or 50-45. It was 50-45. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt was in the corner. I just actually rewatched that fight, and it was awesome. He had 49 takedown attempts, the most takedown attempts ever by far. I think the next most takedown defenses, or the guy who had the record, was Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos, which was mind-boggling at that time, especially for a heavyweight. But he crushed that record, almost 50 takedown attempts. And I think he landed 11. But yeah, he dominated. He completely dominated that fight. I don't think he got really hurt with anything in that entire fight. Landed some great shots. He closed up Petr Yan's eye. He looked awesome, man. And I think he just keeps getting better. He's looked better, in every single one of his fights after that. Now he's going for his 4th title defense in 1 year, which is the most ever. Most active champion we've ever seen. I think I don't know what Petr Yan has other than what he already gave in that first fight. That might have been Merab's most the fight he dominated the most out of his last 5 or 6 fights, other than the finish over O'Malley. So I don't know how he really makes up for that. He is saying that he had a groin pull or something. So there's some type of, he's blaming there was some type of injury. But, bro, when you watch that fight, I thought Petr Yan fought the best he could possibly fight. You have to react to the takedowns. He has to constantly bend over and try to defend takedowns. If you defend a couple, you're on the cage. Merab is going to get you down at times. Merab is just such a nightmare. He's his stand-up is looking great, and his takedowns are amazing. He never gets tired. Man, you have to kill him in order to beat him. You're not going to beat him on a decision. I just can't see it happening. So, Petr Yan has to land a knockout blow, which is way easier said than done.
And he says he wants to end it early, obviously. He said that, and I was watching Embedded. The big difference in this one, as far as for Petr Yan in the first one, who knows how serious I mean, in the sense where he thought he had his number. You even see leading up to that, he's with Aljo, he's looking at Merab, he's going, this one's a 0. And now, if you watch that Embedded, just today, it came out or yesterday, you hear him talking, he's like, well, he's giving nothing but honest assessment and saying like, well, now I have to, you have to watch out for his striking got better and, you don't want it going long. Like you see that he knows he's definitely
respecting. Yeah.
Oh, there's the respect there where it wasn't there prior. So how is that going to affect him? Is that going to freeze him up, or is that going to make him say, listen, I got to go for broke and really try to take him out ASAP, or else it's going to be a long night. So it's weird to see how that's going to affect him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think the mindset is everything, and he sounds like what you're saying. He's got the right mindset going into a title fight. He understands how good Merab is, how hard of a task it is. Because if you go out there under prepared against Merab, like he probably was in that first fight, at least mentally, because I remember that too. He was concerned with Aljo because Aljo was the champ at the time, and he just wanted back at Aljo. Merab, he didn't have as much respect for. And he paid the price. But now, after Merab is doing, I mean, like he's close to like GOAT status at this point. So he knows a win over him is just huge for him. But it makes it more exciting. It makes it more exciting as far as the build up to the fight.
I'll ask you guys both this too, because I know every one of you guys has cardio. I mean, it's part of what you do. But a guy like Merab who has it on such a level that is different than anybody else, have either of you guys fought anybody like that where it was like a legit concern, the other guy's unnatural cardio? Because I know guys have to be, when they fight Merab, they have to consider that. Like, it's not something that you might have to consider with every fighter, but with him, it's like literally something you have to plan the way you fight because you know he's never going to get tired. Have you dealt with that at all from anybody else?
Matt, you want to go first?
I mean, I got two of them. I mean, I knew Ivan Medvedev was just having fun in there, so he kind of freaked me out that he was never getting tired in his fights, and he's a guy that looked like he was just having a good time, kind of like Merab, but not dominant like him, but tough Canadian, El Salvadorian guy. And another one was Caro, and that's a guy who I got tired with, and I knew he doesn't get tired. He's very good in there as far as with endurance, and so that sucked. But those two guys, I'd say.
Did you realize it going in though? Like, did you realize it before the fight? Like, oh fuck.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, no, I felt really good with the Ivan one, and I did, but you know what it is? Because I was up and down. I was sparring Gabert, and remember James Gabert, Chris, where he'll just unload on you. Course, yeah. He'll let you take him down and submit him, and just get up again and try to take your head off. So I'm doing a lot of takedowns. Yeah. He didn't even care. Yeah. Take it, sir, and then just get up and try to kick me. Yeah. But it was funny. So my timing was really good with that. But for the Caro one, I just did a lot of running to make up for it because I had a little meniscus thing, so I didn't really get the wrestling in. And that's and Weidman will tell you that's the worst if you don't have. That's the endurance you need is the up and down, and so I kind of was a little more concerned with that, and rightfully so because I fucking gassed. But hey, man, shit happens.
Yeah, I think it's the worst feeling to go into a fight knowing that the other guy has possibly better cardio than you. That's probably the worst. I think that's scarier than a knockout artist or submission artist, because there's nothing worse than being in a fight and being tired and the other guy's going and he's on a full battery and you're down to like 25%. And the more you show it, the more he keeps coming, and that's what Merab is. I honestly, I wanted to be like the Merab. My goal was to try to be the guy who's just constantly pressuring, exhausted people. I didn't have it like Merab, or like even like a Cain Velasquez was another guy I would try to emulate. But what Merab is doing, thank God I never fought a guy like that. Like Anderson Silva, he's a guy who doesn't get tired, but he's not great on the ground. And Lyoto Machida, he was never really getting tired. So I never really went against a guy like a Merab, but there was guys I knew I wasn't going to be able to just, physically break super easy.
Didn't they say Colby? I mean, maybe not like Merab, but Covington is pretty notorious for having great cardio, right? Great conditioning as well.
They say that, but then in his last, that's what I always heard too. And I think he showed it early in his career. And then like when he went against Usman, you would think he would have kept shooting and try to break him. He just stopped using his wrestling really in a lot of his fights. And it's hard to get someone tired if you're just standing up with them. You know, it's way harder. But it's like Matt said, it's the up and down that really gets someone tired. And if you're not able to do that, it's not like you're going to really break someone standing them up. Like the Diaz brothers did it though. So I can take that back.
Down.
The Diaz brothers were like the few type of guys that would be able to kind of just walk you down and pitter-patter you, get you swinging super hard. They got granite chins, and then it becomes a nightmare. You're stuck in your feet with a guy, and you're dead. Yeah, you're just suffocated.
And also, it's interesting what they're doing too with the. Unfortunately, there's going to be an interim. Topuria had to step away for some personal matters. Stepped away for the first quarter of next year. So they're doing Gaethje against Paddy Pimblett for an interim belt at the. It's a weird schedule, right? Isn't it isn't it the 24th and then the 31st of January? This is the last pay-per-view for the year, I think, and then the first ones are at the end of January. It's 2 weeks in a row, if I'm correct. What do you think of that fight, Gaethje against Pimblett? I guess the winner fighting Topuria.
I mean, I kind of feel bad for Armin, because he looked really good. But Paddy Pimblett's been looking great, but I don't know if it's just too much. Like Gaethje, we always just think of as, he's a violent dude. He hits really hard, throws haymakers, but he's also, I think, more technical than people, think. I remember when he fought Tony Ferguson, really picked him apart, strategically. There was definitely the violence aspect in there, but it was really beautiful jabs and footwork and head movement. So I think his stand-up is really good. And he was an All-American wrestler, which we never really see out of him. But as far as takedown defense against Paddy, that's a big part of it because Paddy's really dangerous on the ground. So I think if Gaethje keeps it standing, is able to stop the takedowns of Paddy, I think he's just got too much violence and too good on the feet for Paddy. We've seen Paddy. I know he's been looking good, but you have to go back to some fights that he's had where you see kind of some chinks in his armor. When he fought Jared Gordon, his chin is wide open. It leaves his chin up. I think he still kind of leaves his chin up. And he's getting tagged with left hooks. I mean, you can't be getting tagged by left hooks with Gaethje. So I don't know if he's able to clean that up enough, against Gaethje, because it's going to be really hard to take Gaethje down.
Well, I mean, not to make a huge comparison, but they are heavy-handed wrestlers. When he fought Mike Chandler, you didn't realize how big he is. Paddy's
big.
Huge.
He is big. He is big.
Is he able to get around that waist and fucking lift him up and dump him? He needs one. He doesn't even need a full takedown. He needs one of those mat returns. You know what I mean? Where he just gets him down. Maybe he could take his back, get a triangle from the back, and just body lock. And I mean, it could be.
What's a mat return? I don't know that term.
In other words, there's a big argument where it's they're saying about Merab, but they shouldn't be counted for takedowns because he gets him down and he gets right back up. I mean, whatever you want to call it, I guess, because he's not taking him down and controlling him. He's taking down, he's getting up, but he's still on top of him. And if you look at it strategically, you're making this guy get up and down, and carrying your weight, you're around his waist. You're dragging him into deep waters. So I don't really. But with a guy with a good back take, Merab does that and wears you down and hugs those hips, and that's his thing. But let's look at a guy like Aljo or a guy like Paddy. They see one. They get a glimpse of that back. The guy could be getting up with him on his back. You know what I mean? So there's different. He can get one of those. Yeah, he just needs some back exposure.
We have seen Gaethje with forward pressure and with wrestling. We've seen him lose with Khabib. But Khabib is Khabib. I'm not saying Paddy Pimblett is, but Paddy is big and strong. And he knows he's going to have to get it to the ground at some point. And you're right. He's super dangerous on the back. He's going to be able to control him, maybe stop some of those explosions off bottom right away. When you giving your point of view makes this fight even more exciting, for sure. Because
Weidman always knows how to throw in a compliment. Jimmy, He's like the opposite of Longo. He always makes me feel good about myself.
No, it is
Chris
true.
Weidman,
It is true.
man.
You made a good counterpoint. I was thinking there's no Gaethje's got no problem winning this fight, but you're right. He is huge. I do.
Big.
He's huge and he's good on control. So if he's able to get one takedown, I mean, that could be it. I don't see Gaethje as like an unbelievable jiu-jitsu guy, who's going to be able to, stop a guy like Patty Pimblett, who's super confident on ground.
Chris,
and he submitted Chandler, right? Did he submit Chandler?
Man.
Or
he beat him up. Did he? Yeah, I think he just did. He submit him? I know he beat him up.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
He mounted him and he was beating him up. I remember just being almost looking away. It was rough.
Yeah.
We have our next guest, Chris. We always love when you come on, man. And
yes,
have a great trip to Vegas. And whatever you wind up doing, we're happy for you. If you keep fighting, I'm always happy to see you competing. And come back on again soon, man. Have a great trip.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me, guys. Matt, good seeing you.
You're the best, man. Love to the fam.
Yeah,
see you, buddy.
Enjoy the vacation. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
brother.
Take care, Chris.
Right, peace.
It's fight week.
It is fight week, yes. I guess Chris is just kind of going out to support him, so there's no pressure on him to get out there. When's he going to go out there? Friday? I could have just asked him. He was just here. Why am I asking you? You're not his travel agent. Hey, John, how you doing?
Listen, we got the great John Wood in here. John, what's up, man?
Hey, another day in life, another fight week.
It's fight week.
It's
John
always
Wood,
fight week.
It's fight week for you.
It's always fight week.
How many weeks out of the year is fight week for you? I'm going to say...
Bro.
50-50.
I mean, more than that. I think, so we've got about 85 pros at this point, 75, 85 pros, something like that. Somewhere around that number. And then another 40 or 50 amateurs. So it's literally fight week every week. Like if we don't have a fight, it's crazy. The UFC is, we're at least a couple times every week. We got, I think, 15, 16, 17 UFC fighters right now. It's freaking crazy, dude.
And I'm looking at your website, and do you guys have? You have Muay Thai, you have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you got wrestling, but you have regular people going to, not just pros, or is it only pros?
No. So we've got 1,000 members. Wow. So we have 1,000 regular non-fighting members. So we're probably one of the only gyms in the world that blends it like that, where we have such a crazy pro team and and the regular people. So we just bought the whole building, so the whole complex that we're in now. So we are going to probably, I just got off the phone with somebody, to come out and design the gym the way we want it set up, but we probably will separate and have a full pro area to kind of just keep elevating, what the pros are able to do, with us. But we still love that. I don't want to be a super gym. I don't want to be a fucking, a puppy mill gym. I want to keep we have everybody co-mingles here. Great. The kids running up, training with Merab, loving it. Everybody, it just works really well together.
Hey, John, do you remember back ages ago when you were we probably brought this up on here before. You were training at a Ricardo Perez's little school with this little octagon.
Yep.
And I remember getting ready for we were just talking about the fight where I tore my bicep. I was there for that versus Kelly Delonte, and you were a member in the school, right? Just training.
Oh,
in the school.
No, that's where I had left Vegas and I came back, and that's where I landed, and I was training with Ricardo and Sergio and Frank Mir and all those guys for years, and I remember you coming in the gym into that little tiny, shall we say, shithole of a gym, but it was awesome. I loved it. But it was great. It was such a big thing seeing you in there. I was like, oh my God, it's Matt Serra, so it's pretty crazy to be, 25 years later, whatever that was, or however long ago that was, to be sitting here on a podcast with you.
Was it your dream back then to become was it I know you fought also, was it to be a champion or to produce champions, or when did you know you wanted to be a trainer?
Really early on. I wanted to be a fighter, first, and I loved fighting in combat sports, and when I got into fighting I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. When I was really back then at the Combat Club, we were doing a lot of grappling tournaments, and, we'd go and do jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff. And I started coaching a lot of those jiu-jitsu tournaments. And that's when I really, honestly, I was just kind of hit me. I was like, man, I really like doing this, and then started cornering some of my friends and being those things. And I realized early on that I wanted to be a coach more than a fighter. Like I was like, man, this is my path, because I never believed that I got kind of lost in the shuffle. I was always with a lot of good guys and a lot of good camps, but I was never the guy. I was the guy behind the guy who was behind the guy. So I learned a lot of different stuff, but I just never believed in myself as a fighter. And, at 24, 25 years old, I had the opportunity to start, to partner with Ricardo in a gym. I got into a car accident. I had some money. I asked him if we could invest it, and he said yes. And that's where the whole thing started. So I'd say about, 23, 24 years old, I knew that this was going to be my life. And I knew that this was going to be what I wanted to do. And I remember I was just telling somebody this today, seeing my coach go behind the scenes at UFC, and like everybody knew who he was in the back, not famous people or other fighters, but all the staff and everybody was just like, man, hey, da, da, da. And I was like, man, that's so cool. I want to have that one day. And, we were just talking about how it's, that day's kind of come. It's very surreal. It's a very surreal experience.
I think part of it has got to be too, you see so many different styles in the corner of guys who will tell their fighter, like, it's going great, even when it's obviously not, because apparently that's how the guy responds. And I guess you have to learn how to read people and know, like, how is this fighter, how am I going to get the best out of him? How do I talk to this person to get the best out of them? And I'm sure everybody is a little bit different, or do you kind of impose your style on all the fighters?
No, my style is fluid, and I match to the fighter and what the fighter needs, and Merab is the biggest testament to that. When he first got here, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. It was just so different. He was such a different guy. It seemed like he wasn't paying attention. It seemed like he wasn't this, he wasn't that. And he was at my gym for years before we actually even started really working together. And then one day he's like, hey, coach, can we start working together? I said, absolutely. In the first session, I was just like, I don't know if this is going to be the thing. And then after the first session, the next day, it really seemed like he didn't like what I was teaching him. It didn't seem like he was paying attention. He came back the next day and did absolutely everything we worked on perfectly in sparring. I was just like, okay. And so I tried it again, and the same thing happened. I tried it again, and I was like, okay, this dude just learns differently. And so I had to learn how to teach him. And that's how I do it with every single fighter. Everybody's different. Everybody has a skill set. I don't claim myself, I'm an MMA coach. So whatever the person needs to do, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking, whatever it is, that's what I'm there to try to make them better. If I can't make them better, if I feel like that's above my pay grade, I've got other coaches that can. I don't have the ego to not bring somebody in to make somebody better. But it's never my way or the highway. It's always two-way traffic. We're always learning together. I learn just as much from my fighters as they learn from me. But you have to be able to mold. You have to be able to, to be able to, just like you're saying in the corner. Some guys like to be cornered a certain way. Some guys don't. The first few is that feeling out process. I just went through this with a fighter quite recently who, I have a meeting with and hey, I don't like it when this gets said, it makes me feel this way, or I start focusing on this. Okay. So that's my job. You've hired me. Now I have that information. I'm not going to do that anymore in the corner. I'm going to rephrase how I say things. You have to be able to learn. And a lot of times you have to be able to learn on the fly, but it's never, this is our system. I have a framework in which there's things that work in fighting across the board, how you work, how you cut off a cage, how you get off the fence, how you get up, those things. But how you teach them and how they're put into motion is different with every single fighter.
I'm amazed at what I'm amazed at what you guys see. Like, it's a language. Like, Weidman was just on. He was just talking about that Paddy Pimblett fighting UFC. Sometimes he keeps his chin up, and just the things that you guys notice fighters doing, that his head's on the line, and then I'll go back and go, oh yeah, I guess it wasn't on the line. But I would never fucking notice that. Like, even if I try to see that stuff, I can't see it. It's just, you just see things. Maybe it's from all the hours or what you're looking for, but I'm fascinated with what you guys see that I hardly see even when you've told me it's there, and I have to go back and see it again.
And that's the thing is, like, one, that's why you have to be open-minded, because it's not just about our fighter. It's about what the other fighter is doing and being able to make those reads and see those things on the fly very quick. Like, I don't ever... over focus on one thing when it comes to a fight. MMA fights, we see it all the time. Everything and anything can happen and will happen in the fight. So you just have to be able to make those split decision calls. With our fighters, we do some different things in here that by the time we've gotten to that fight, by the time Merab gets into that cage tomorrow, I'll have done thousands of rounds with him, hundreds of rounds literally for that fight specifically, to basically, get the calls, get the knowledge. Like we go in, we set up, like I said, we do some things here where our sparring is in the cage. It's being coached. The other fighter's being coached against my guy. We're in there and simulating that fight every, 2-3 times a week with Merab, because that dude just loves to, he's a sparring machine, literally. So he's heard and seen everything that I've said. I've seen and heard everything that he, is doing. And so, like I said, when we get into that fight, it's basically just like riding a bike.
Merab's, he's made for this. How is your wife handling retirement? Does she get any itch to get back in there?
Dude, she really
up you at the house.
Yeah, I ask her that all the time, and the answer is always unequivocally no. It's just, she just does it. She had 10 years in the UFC, 20 some years fighting professionally. She is just over it, dude. Like, her thing is just like, fortunately, she's had an awesome career, and then another career to shift into here with the gym. She's running the front. She's managing the front desk. She's managing the gym. Like, so she's around it still all the time, and it's just a new challenge for her. So it's so great having her, basically be my boss now. In every aspect of my life, even when I go home, she's my boss. When I'm here, she's my boss. On the mat, she's my boss. But she's killing it. That's her right there. Actually. Yeah. She's always looking over my shoulder here. So she's doing great, man. She loves it. She still gets in there and trains with the kids, and she'll run some stuff, and she goes and corners people. It's really awesome, like I said, to have her around, but to be able to have her kind of segue into this portion and help me run the business and help me, kind of just grow everything we have been. It's been great.
I was just saying, it's only because I can relate with that, man. I'm here on vacation. My wife trains. She just retired herself from some amateur fighting. She had one pro boxing match, and I'm on vacation. I'm here. I did a little seminar while I'm here in Florida, and who's my uki? It's the wifey. I'm using her to demonstrate the moves. I got my daughters in class. It's nice when it's a family affair. Is your boy training as well?
Oh yeah. Since the day he could walk, he's been in here. He trains, every day. He's getting into hockey now, so that takes up a little bit of time. But he's in on the mats. I'd say at least 4 or 5 days a week. Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu. Right now he's 10 years old, but he's deciding whether he wants to be a pro hockey player, a pro fighter, or just take over the family business. So I told him, I was like, it's not going to be handed to you. You got to have a black belt by the time you're 18. You got to be, all these things. But he loves it, and I don't think he understands the level that he's grown up around. These guys, Merab and all these champions that he's seen come in here. They're just normal people to him. So I think when he gets older, he's going to be like, "Oh shit, that was pretty cool," It's awesome having him in here. I actually started training him, on the pads and stuff, and we kind of started working a little bit last week, even on our first pad sessions together. And I was like, man, I was holding back the tears, we were doing it, but it's so great to have him in here. And it's just, it really is a family business.
That's beautiful, man.
I love it.
Well, good luck with Merab, buddy. This is a great, obviously he's his fourth defense this year, I think, is what he's going for. Petr Yan. Obviously, Petr, I'm sure will try to make adjustments, whether or not he can.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, who knows? I mean, you can't adjust how tired you get when Merab is just fucking nonstop. It's just, it's really frightening to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And congrats on the success of the gym, man. It's nice to see it going so strong. We had Davey Grant on last week, talking about how much he loves it. Yeah, so we're really happy for you, man. Come back again soon, please.
Hey, anytime, guys. I appreciate you having me on. It's an honor.
You're a legend, man. Thank you, John.
You guys are the legends. Thank you.
I see you like Longo in 25 years from now doing the same. Longo's still going.
I know.
Be out there. I see you as him in the future, just this, till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
That's the plan, man. And I really do mean it. It's an honor to even, like I said, it blows my mind to be even on here talking with you guys, a guy who I've watched since I was, a wee baby, but you guys are legends. Ray's a legend. It was crazy. We were watching a comedy special last night with Jimmy on there, and my wife, how are you going to be talking to me? So it really does blow my mind. It's a humbling, that I try to stay as humble as I can, but like I said, it's these are dream come true. It's just like these moments to be able to talk with like legends like you guys yourselves and stuff. So I really do appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, buddy. It was always a pleasure, and we'll talk to you again soon, man. Have a great time at those fights, and obviously wish Merab all the luck in the world.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you, John. Coach. Take care, buddy.
Take care, John Wood. It's fun, Jimmy. Hey, man, I'm happy for him. I really, and his wife's sweet. It's nice. It's nice when it's a family thing. Like I said, Jimmy, I just did a seminar for my buddy John Burke. Shout out to John Burke, Six Blades. He's Hoist Gracie's first black belt. And what's funny about this guy, Jimmy, is when I did my very first session on the mats, 1992, 18 years old, there's some guys that made this their life from that seminar, right? Let me just name a couple guys besides myself that were at that seminar in Connecticut. One was this guy I just mentioned, John Burke, who became Hoist Gracie's first black belt. And then there's David Adiv, he's Mickey Gall's jiu-jitsu trainer. He was there that day. He was there that day, and he's also very well known, and he's Mickey Gall's trainer, and he's under Hoyler Gracie. So I'm very fortunate where I stuck around, and East Coast, Henzo came over. I'm Henzo's first black belt. So that one seminar by Horion and Hoist back in 1992, I don't know,
you can see the effects of it 30 years later.
It's crazy. Yeah,
it's amazing.
And so that was nice. And, the family was with me. We did a nice seminar. I'm going to meet them at Universal after this.
Yeah, have fun, buddy.
Have a good time. I'm glad this worked out. We got the kinks out. I'm happy that it wasn't too bad with the technical difficulties, at least on my part.
And please don't change your background on Wednesday because you look delightful with big flowers behind you. This is the mat that I love. Happy mat with flowers.
I give off a little bit of a hippie vibe like this.
You do. You're smoking a pot. So.
Jimmy, we're going to be we'll be back on Wednesday, and we'll talk about the fights in detail. I'm very excited for Merab. And again, Merab is there's the whole division probably making a voodoo doll of him, because if he wasn't in that division, all these other guys have a shot. But I'm not saying they don't have a shot, but my point is his one strength kind of trumps everybody else's game. Jimmy, let's do some promotion, and I'm going to go jump on maybe a roller coaster.
I have a new episode is up now with Brendan Sagalow. An episode coming out on Wednesday with Jeff Ross, and Geeking Out with Matt Serra.
Yeah, the Matt Serra channel on YouTube. Also on Spotify. I wanted to kind of do that in a kind of a jingle, but it didn't really work out.
That worked out beautifully.
That fucking is brutal. When I hold the mic, I almost feel,
Yeah, jazzy.
Da, 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 da. Hey, Jimmy.
Yes, buddy.
I love your new material. That's all I'm going to say. Because it's listen, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to end with this. I watched Unconceivable, and I was kind of, when I went there, I'm like, oh, that was great. I'm probably going to see a lot of this. So then you hit me with all new shit. I'm like, oh, wow, I don't remember that. This is all new, and it was fun.
Thank you, man. It's a new hour. I appreciate it. I hate when guys tour with the same material. So thank you, pal. I was happy you were there.
Man, it's amazing how your mind works. But Jimmy, 2 days, we'll be back together. Not even a day.
Have fun at Universal, man.
Thank you, brother. Take care, everyone.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.